Today we're going to be checking out the Mammoth Adjustable Rear Upper Control Arms, designed to fit the 1997 to 2006 Jeep Wrangler TJ, from stock all the way up to 8 inches of lift. Now, if you are needing new rear upper control arms with some enhanced durability, and especially if you're running a lifted setup and you need better suspension geometry and improved articulation, these control arms are going to be a solid option. These control arms provide adjustability to fine-tune your pinion angle, which is crucial when lifting your Wrangler. These are going to allow for better alignment correction, to reduce drivetrain vibrations, and excessive wear on components like the drive shaft and that differential. The high-strength bushings help absorb the road shock while reducing unwanted suspension deflection, resulting in a smoother and more controlled ride. With this increased articulation, these control arms allow your suspension to flex more effectively, improving off-road performance by maintaining better tire contact on uneven terrain. Whether you're tackling trails or just daily driving, these arms enhance the stability and the durability compared to the factory components. Built from heavy-duty steel tubing, these control arms are designed to handle the stress of off-road driving and those lifted applications. They're just really beefy, nice, thick control arms. The black powder-coated finish provides corrosion resistance, ensuring long-lasting durability in harsh conditions. These premium bushings are engineered to reduce noise and vibration while allowing for maximum articulation. Now, as far as pricing goes on this setup, they're coming in around that mid $100 price range for the pair, which is a fair price for something with so much versatility, adjusting all the way from 0 to 8 inches of lift and giving your suspension the correct geometry and simple adjustability. Installation on these are pretty straightforward, so we're rating them just a 1 out of 3 on the difficulty meter, and you can have this installed in about 1 hour of your time. Now, let's head on out to the shop, and they're going to give you a detailed walkthrough of how that installation process works.
These are the tools that I wound up using: a crescent wrench, a T40 star bit for my brake line bracket, a ratchet, 15mm socket and 15mm wrench, 13mm socket with the 13mm wrench, a side cutters, a nylon brush to clean the brackets before I put it back on, and a torque wrench set at 55 foot-pounds. First thing you want to do is to make sure your parking brake is on and you're working on a flat level surface. Using your 13mm wrench or socket, you want to go ahead and remove the emergency brake cable. We're going to start on the driver's side. I like to put my nuts back on the hardware to make sure I don't lose it. In theory, kind of move that out of the way. We want to do one side at a time. Now we're going to go ahead and work on the control arm. Looks like we are going to have to remove this bracket for the fuel, for the brake line. And we're going to take care of that in just a second. Okay, we're back. We're going to remove this bracket that holds the brake line. All right, tuck that out of the way. We're going to find our 15mm socket, make things a little faster. All right, and again, I like to put my hardware back together. And now we're going to work on the lower bolt. And we're going to need a 15mm wrench on the back end to hold the nut in place. Nut on the bolt, and slid right out. So let's take a look and compare this old one with the new one. So the next step here is to adjust the new control arm to the same length as the old one, which I have done. And what you can see here, you just line up the holes and then you snug down your nut there. All right, it's time to install the control arm. And we're just gonna pop it in like so. Make sure the holes align properly, and they do. I'm gonna start with the back one here. We're gonna go in from the back side. I'm just gonna start a few threads on this nut. Kind of plop it down right there. And we are aligned. Sometimes, even though it looks aligned, it may be off just a hair, or it doesn't want to just pop in there easily. Very well. Now we're going to work on the other side. Just a reverse process. You're going to put a wrench on the back side of this bolt. I might be able to hand tighten that a little bit first. That's about all we got. All right, now the torque spec on these are 55 foot-pounds. We've got our torque wrench here. Let's go ahead and make sure that's set properly. And over here. All right, now we just need to put the brake line back. All right, take the adjustable wrench. You're going to need a pretty good sized one, and snug down this jam nut. And there it is. The final step is to install this emergency brake line bracket using a couple of zip ties. Just going to clean these off real quick. And instructions say we need to zip tie this to the control arm. And there it is. We are now moving over to the passenger side. And as before, first we're going to do is remove the emergency brake cable bracket. And that is using a 13 millimeter socket. And so this one's a little different than the other side. It doesn't come out. Once it's rusted in there, we'll have to work on that here in a minute. Next step will be, as before, is to remove the control arm. Let's start off with the top. It's got a capture done in the back. Now it is a good idea to go ahead and use some spray lube or some penetrating fluid beforehand, which I did do last night. Just helps break up the nut from the bolt easier. All right, so that nut is gone. Let's start with the bottom one, or most rear one. And my spring is in the way. Well, that's not good. Let's see if we can't wiggle it out of there. So what I had to do, I had to raise up the frame of the Jeep to lengthen that spring just a little bit so I could get this bolt out underneath. I'm gonna raise it up just a little bit more. There we go. Now, if I do anything else, I'm going to lower the Jeep again, and then we'll get started on the rest of it. Again, this is the old control arm compared to the new one. I went ahead and made them both the same length for the new one, per the instructions, and it's time to mount it back up. All right, we're back under the Jeep. It's time to install the control arm. So we're going to start by making sure the holes line up, and we're going to grab a bolt. And the reason they don't, I'm sure, is because I had to raise the Jeep. Now that one's lining up somewhat, so that's good. Let's go ahead and start the bolt up top. I'm just going to start it, and that's it. I'm not going to actually tighten anything up quite yet. And that's all I want. Now what we're going to do, I want to put this bolt in from this side so I don't have the same problem later. All right, so what I did, I raised up the pumpkin a little bit, the axle, with my jack, and I was able to just start the bolt in the back. And I'm hoping that will give me just enough wiggle room to get this going. In my case, this is going in very easily. It's not binding or anything like that. There we go. Now, let's see what we got on the other side. It looks like we're off a little bit. There we go. Now let's see what's happening. I need to twist this control arm down, and we got it. All right, now let's put the nut back on. I've got plenty of room. I'm going to go ahead and lower the jack. Let's go ahead and tighten everything back up. We'll start with this back nut and bolt. And now for the top one. Let's go ahead and finish up by installing or zip tying this emergency brake cable to the control arm per the instructions. I'm going to go ahead and put a small piece of rubber between the bracket and the control arm. I'm not a fan of metal-to-metal contact. In fact, we're going to go ahead and take this nut off. I'm not serving any purpose. You know, just probably get lost. I'm going to put one more zip tie up here. Clean it up a little bit. And again, we want to snug everything down to 55 foot-pounds. There's one. And two. And that's done. Very easy. The only problem I had, as you saw, was when I raised the Jeep to remove the bolt off the spring, it kind of messed with my adjustment a little bit. My holes didn't line up, so I had to raise up it again, but it aligned, and it's done.
All right, well, that's gonna wrap up our review and install of the Mammoth Adjustable Rear Upper Control Arms for a 0 to 8 inch lift on the 1997 to 2006 Jeep Wrangler TJ. And for all things Jeep, keep it right here at Extreme Terrain.